financial crisis recovery.
Foreclosure, short sales, bankruptcy, credit card debt, job loss, depreciating home values, money management. Peace of mind when it comes to your finances seems completely out of reach under current conditions, but there is a way to achieve it. For the next 60 minutes, you're going to find out how to cover your assets. Cover your assets.
That I do classes for, and you see me and you say, my God, I finally found the person who can help me. Then you call my office and speak to one of my assistants who tells you that I'm booked out 6 weeks in advance, which I often am, and sometimes more, and you're losing your home next month. How depressing and demoralizing that is. So the reason for this show is to get the information out. I don't have other people who do what I do. I don't train other people to do what I do because there's a lot of liability and it's a tough business. And the number of people who know all the things that they need to know related to all of these different disciplines, frankly, I don't know of anybody else who does this. And most of the professionals I work with will tell me the same thing. They don't know anybody who knows this much about these many different things. And I'm trying to, boost myself up. I'm telling you that I did this show because I wanted to offer this information to the people who are out there who possibly couldn't afford the service and desperately needed it. And now the show is about bringing these people together, letting you get your questions answered, and letting you find out, if you really need help and you want help. I'm trying to disseminate the information. I don't need more clients. I've got all the clients I need, and that isn't to say that I'm not thankful and honored to have a good business, but I'm trying to get this information out. It's another reason why I teach the classes that I do. So anything related to short sales or bankruptcy or foreclosure or estate planning or asset protection or formulating a business or qualifying for financing in the future or credit, how to manipulate a credit score, all these things are the things that I do. So I want to encourage anyone who's been looking for this information to call in. The lines are open. The number is 651-646-8255. If you have questions related to these things and you've gone to see these people, or maybe you just simply can't imagine that in your current financially distressed position you could afford to go and pay a CPA and an attorney and a financial advisor and all these people, you simply run out of money. But you need these questions answered because, look, I'm not a stupid person, Todd, but I feel as though I don't have the right information, and consequently I lay awake in bed at night not knowing what to do. And the worst part is I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. If I knew how this worked and I had good information, I could make decisions. But I don't feel as though I have that information. And so consequently, I tend to choose not to make any more bad decisions when, in fact, really what that means is I'm making no decisions at all and I'm doing nothing, and I am delaying the inevitable. I'm running out of money, and inevitably I'm going to simply crash into the rocks. So I'd love to have the information that I need to make the decision. And even if it is the lesser of evils where every option stinks, at least if I get to pick, I'm now back in control, and I don't feel as though I'm spinning out of control with no idea what's going to happen the next day when I wake up. So that's what this is all about. I teach classes at Kaplan. One of my my affiliation with Kaplan is probably something that I'm most proud of. And I teach classes. We're going to come back after the break. We're going to talk about the classes and how they can be beneficial to the average consumer. And for a very modest amount of money, I think a half-day class is $50. I think a full-day class is $100 at Kaplan Professional Schools. Any individual consumer can attend these classes. And remember, I don't do free consultations. I'm $250 the minute you walk in the door. And so for 1 hour with me, you pay $250. For an 8-hour class to learn infinite information, and whether you're a professional, and I'm aware that the majority of the people who listen to this show are the people who are the practitioners. I've been told many times by folks who listen to the show, I'm a financial advisor, I'm an attorney, I'm a CPA, I'm a mortgage broker. I listen to your show every Saturday morning. I know why, because they're industry people, and they want to know these things because they're coming in contact with these consumers. And frankly, I've been doing this a lot longer than most people who are out there, and so I find that to be the case. My sense is that the consumers who are out there are the ones who need to be listening to this. And likewise, when it comes to the classes, the professionally accredited classes that I teach at Kaplan are enormously beneficial to the professionals like the CPAs and the attorneys and the financial advisors and the mortgage brokers and the credit specialists and the real estate agents and financial advisors, what have you. But the reality is the very information that I'm teaching in those classes is precisely what the consumer who's going through that situation or wants to ensure that they never are, it's the very information that they're looking for. So I want to encourage people to attend these classes at Kaplan. I don't make any more money by you attending the classes, but I know that they're accessible, and I know that it's the information that's out there. This is the premise of the show and why I created it in the first place. So when we come back from the break, I'm going to talk to you about the classes that I am an instructor in and that I do with Kaplan Professional Schools, tell you what they're all about and how they might be beneficial to you or people that you know who either want this information or may actually be going through this situation right now. So when we come back from the break, get yourself a paper and a pencil and be prepared to write down how to find this information. So if you've got a friend, family member, client who is looking for this information, I want to give you the information that you can provide to them so that they can get some relief and at least understand their particular situation so that they can make decisions and try to remedy the issues that they're currently dealing with. So with that, we'll be back and we'll talk some more about these classes and how they can be beneficial to the average consumer who's out there. Welcome back to Cover Your Assets with Todd Rooker. That's me. Hey. I want to encourage everybody, as you've been listening, if you were listening to the previous segment, if you have questions, if you want information, if you want to become a part of our database so that you can simply find these podcasts and go back anytime and listen to the information that's covered, go to the Financial Crisis Bible. Financial Crisis Bible. This is for people who are already facing a financial crisis or could be facing one, or lastly, people who want to ensure that they never are in this position. Simply go to www.financialcrisisbible.com and download the free Financial Crisis. Yeah, you're going to have to give up your email address, but you're going to get a ton of information. It's a document. It's a little book that I wrote. It tells you a little bit about my wife and I, our story, my wife with cancer, my son born with cerebral palsy, and how we wound up having to pay back over $500,000 in medical bills over a 7-year period of time with wage garnishments at one point that were 68% of my income. And how we went through that, didn't file bankruptcy, and went through that whole nightmare, and the knowledge that I gained from it, and part of the reason that I'm so passionate about what I do today. So you can also go to CYA21.com. That is our website, our radio show website, CYA21.com. That's Cover Your Assets in the 21st Century is what that acronym means. It is CYA21.com. Check that out. So I'm going to encourage once again, our listeners to call in any questions, 651-646-8255. We do have a caller, Bruce, on the line, which I'm going to take that call here in just a moment. But I want to, again, just cover a little bit about what we covered earlier. My business is everything related to financial crisis, money management, controlled spending, making decisions. So I got to know what the CPA, the financial advisor, the attorney, the insurance agent, the credit specialist, mortgage broker, and real estate agent all rolled into one. Sounds like a jack of all trades, master of none, but I assure you, over the years, I've taught classes to attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, insurance agents, real estate agents, and mortgage brokers. Generally, these are accredited classes for professional designations, meaning continuing education. But over the years, I have been enormously proud of my affiliation with Kaplan Professional Schools. And one of the distinctions that I'm most proud of is that non-licensees, meaning people who do not need the continuing education credits, average consumers, take my classes more so than any other instructor at Kaplan Professional Schools. And I am really proud of that because I know the information that is out there in these classes is incredibly valuable to anyone who wants the information on these topics. The rest of the show, provided that we'll take your calls, is going to be about the 4 classes that I teach. One of them is CSI Minnesota, which is credit score investigation. It goes through credit, how credit scoring works, and how it probably is so different than what you think. And the idea that you simply pay your bills on time and have a great credit score is absolute nonsense. But to most people, they assume it's all logical, and they have no idea that they're playing a game they don't even understand the rules to. That's an 8-hour class that I teach at Kaplan, CSI Minnesota. Another class that I teach is called To Fall and Rise Again, Life After Financial Crisis. This is a class that goes through everything that a financial institution can check you out and basically dissects a 2-hour consultation. It's ironic that I do a consultation with a client for 2 hours, yet I spend 8 hours in a class dissecting it because I don't tell the people in a 2-hour consultation why I say what I do and the reasons for what I'm saying. In this class, I describe everything. All the things you need to know, the reasons that I ask a person for everything that is licensed, registered, titled, insured, has been depreciated on taxes, put forth on a personal financial statement, anything that's on a credit report, and anything that's on what's known as a MERS check, because that's what the financial institutions can use to check you out. And we got to see what's on the table before we start determining what we can do about it, because I want to know what the